Dave Ramsey recently told a caller that he should fire his tax advisor for recommending a 401k. Let's take a listen, and then I'll give you my thoughts afterwards.
This is the big question is, last year I started doing a Roth 401k.
Good.
And my tax advisor said that I should be doing a traditional 401k.
You should fire your tax advisor.
Because you said, yeah. So
I'm serious. It's a heart attack. They're trading a tax deduction for tax-free growth. This guy can't do math.
That's what I thought too. So I kept doing the Roth 401k this year.
And change tax advisors, because I don't know what else he's doing this dumb.
Okay, this is the problem with financial gurus and call-in shows like this one. They give one-size-fits-all prescriptions that are delivered in very stark black and white terms. After listening to this clip, Dave Ramsey's legions of listeners are left to believe that there is never any scenario in which one should contribute to a traditional 401k over a Roth 401k. Now, if there's anyone who believes in the importance of accumulating money in tax-free retirement vehicles, it's me. But I also recognize the importance of nuance with these types of recommendations. You would only want to contribute to a Roth 401k if you believed that your tax bracket in retirement were likely to be higher than it is today. That's the only litmus test you need. Case closed. End of story. Getting this decision wrong could force you to pay unnecessary taxes along the way, which could ultimately force you to run out of money years in advance of when you ever thought possible. Consider the following. Let's say you're in the 37% tax bracket and live in California, where the state tax rate can rise as high as 12%. That's a marginal tax rate of 49%. What Ramsey here is recommending is that those people forego that 49% tax deduction because he thinks their effective tax rate in retirement will be greater than 49%. Even a guy like me, who believes that taxes will rise dramatically in the next 10 years, thinks that this is a bridge too far. The math just doesn't add up. Now, you may be thinking, this caller probably isn't in the 37% tax bracket. His bracket is probably much lower. Well, guess what? We simply don't know. The caller didn't provide Dave with any of that information. Ramsey here is simply shooting from the hip. And the unsuspecting listener is left to believe that there is never any instance in which one should be contributing to a traditional 401k. Once again, when you heed the advice of one-size-fits-all financial gurus like Dave Ramsey, you risk running out of money faster because you paid a tax along the way that you didn't necessarily have to pay. So when it comes to making the all-important decision of traditional versus Roth, I generally provide the following rule of thumb. Keep in mind, this is just a rule of thumb, and you should talk to your tax or financial advisor for confirmation. If you're in the 24% tax bracket or lower, it generally makes sense to contribute to your Roth 401k. If you're in the 32% tax bracket or higher, it's generally a good idea to contribute to your traditional 401k. Like I said, there are exceptions to this rule of thumb, but this is what I generally advise. The math will make sense if you follow this course. All this said, if you are in the 24% bracket or lower and you contribute to the Roth 401k, there are huge advantages associated with doing so. First, you shield yourself against the impact of higher taxes down the road. Former Comptroller General of the federal government, David Walker, has predicted that taxes will have to rise dramatically to finance our exploding national debt and shore up our massively underfunded entitlement programs. A recent Penn Wharton study has found that if our country doesn't right its fiscal ship of state by 2040, that no combination of raising taxes or reducing spending will arrest the financial collapse of our country. By contributing after-tax dollars to your Roth 401k, you shield yourself from this potential rise in tax rates down the road. Next, when you take money out of a Roth 401k, it does not count as provisional income. That means it doesn't count against the thresholds that cause Social Security taxation. Avoiding Social Security taxation in retirement could help your money last 5 to 7 years longer than the person who does pay tax on their Social Security. Third, when you take money out of a Roth 401k in retirement, you decrease the impact of IRMA. That stands for Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. This is an extra premium you could pay on Medicare Parts B and D. If you're funding your entire retirement out of your traditional 401k, this could have an unintended impact on IRMA. Again, if you're paying higher IRMA than necessary, this will once again force you to run out of money prior to when you had otherwise anticipated. So yes, there are huge benefits to investing in tax-free accounts, but again, that does not mean you should reflexively pour all your retirement contributions into your Roth 401k. After all, the tax savings of a 401k could still be far greater than the savings you'll experience in retirement, particularly if you're in the 32% bracket or higher at the time of contribution. In conclusion, if you're making $50,000 but spending $60,000, Dave Ramsey is precisely the person you should be talking to right about now. But when it comes to nuanced recommendations that impact how long your money will last in retirement, Dave Ramsey and other one-size-fits-all financial gurus just like him are way out of their depth.